Welcome everyone. Today we're going to discuss uranium play. Yes, you guessed it. The last few years we have a massive jump and explosion for a lot of solar energy stocks. Right now uranium is the one that will jump for this year because we have a massive indecision phase and the problem war that happened between Russia and Ukraine build high demand for the energy right now even in Europe. So let's get right to it and discuss how we make money investing in this stock. We're gonna talk about Uranium Royalty Corporation. The ticker symbol on the Nasdaq UROY, trading around the $3.65, and the Canadian market ticker symbol is URC and trading on 4.64 Canadian dollars. Uranium Royalty Corporation is focused on gaining exposure to uranium price by making strategic investment in uranium interests. So what's royalty? Let's go here and see the CEO and the Uranium Royalty Corporation talk about the company and what's the royalty program exactly from his words. So let's get right to it.
Royalty Corp is the company that I'm the CEO of, which is not a uranium mining company per se, but we own interests in a basket or a portfolio of uranium mining companies. And we hold those interests through royalties or streams. And our royalty is just simply a financial right to a portion of the financial revenues from a mine. Or if that mine develops, then we get a percentage, it could be 1-2% of the revenue from that mine. And so when you're buying a share of Uroy, which is traded on the Nasdaq, I think we're the only pure uranium company traded on the Nasdaq, you are buying into a portfolio of 16 mining operations and developments around the world in the United States, Canada, Namibia. We've also given our early investors exposure to uranium near the bottom of the cycle.
So this is a good point. So you have a diversification. So this is a good point from the CEO. By diversifying, hedging your portfolio, which make royalty phenomenal source of income that require very little ongoing maintenance. The royalty model have been executed to perfection in mining industry and has returned as much as 36 per year, which is the double compound rate of return of Warren Buffett Berkshire Hathaway when done right. We can see the management and director for Uranium Royalty Corporation. We have Amir Adnan, the chairman and the director, and we have Scott Melby, a chief executive officer, president and the director. Uranium spot price reached 11-year high. Before the financial crisis, the price was around the 138. And the price went as low as 17.75 per pound, 12 years low for 2016. And right now we are on the 50 and the $63. Life cycle carbon emission from its electricity supply technology. The only one from this list, the only one carbon energy source that provides scalable 24/7 base load power, which is nuclear power. And one of the things really interesting here, we see that the US Senate has passed infrastructure bill that provides $6 billion nuclear credit program. US has set a goal to reach 100% carbon pollution free electricity by 2035. 100% all the energy that you use in your house right now will be nuclear energy. And what's that mean? A lot of investors, like those investors, billionaires, one of them is Rick Roll and the other one is Doug. And if we go see Rick Roll, and that he is a highly successful resource sector investor who has financed numerous exploration and mining company over his 45 years career, and as well he right now investing in Uranium Royalty Corporation as well. Uranium Royalty Corporation exercises initial tranche of 10-year supply agreement to acquire 10 million US dollar of physical uranium at 28.73 per pound. This is a really important chart. Look with me. The green area here is the demand. and the yellow area here is the supply. You see, there is more demand than supply for energy. That's why we need a different source of energy, because the energy that we use right now is not enough for a consumer, for production. Right now the solution is renewable energy like uranium. And here, Asia growing nuclear footprint. We have China with the most operational nuclear reactor, and here the India is 29, and you can see how many new country coming in. And let's listen again for the Chief Executive Officer Scott Melby talking about revenue generating from the company and how investor will see some kind of revenue in the coming future. So let's tune in here on this video and hear together from the CEO of the company.
You guys are sitting on $20 million in cash. Can you kind of just break down how you're going to utilize that cash?
Yeah, well, the liquidity we have on the balance sheet is even greater than that. It's over $100 million if you take the cash, marketable securities in Yellowcake and the physical uranium. Sufficiently cashed up to go acquire royalties and streams that might come up in the secondary market. There's no world for these opportunities to buy them and put them into our portfolio. An example would be Cigar Lake and McArthur River. We acquired that from an exploration company out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, that was involved in Saskatchewan in the early 80s.
So he was talking about both of them, those two investments worth almost £500 million of proven reserve as of December 31, 20.
With a company like ours, with the model that we have, every dollar we raise, or almost every dollar we raise, goes to accretive acquisitions by definition. We have very little overhead. We have a company that can be run by 5 people, very capable people, but we don't own the mines. We don't own, we don't have to manage the workforce, have all the ground leased and the holding costs. We just own the financial interests in other people's mines and developments.
This is a good point to show us Uranium Royalty Corporation has a more efficient way of focusing on investment, focusing on the collaboration, focusing on growing. This is one of the good points for Uranium Royalty Corporation.
We wanted to provide early investors exposure to the low uranium price at near the bottom of the cycle. So we invested in Yellowcake PLC out of London. We still have a 4 to 5%. We're looking at investment gains already approaching $10 million on those holdings. And again, that provides exposure to our investors in URC that want that diversified pure play exposure in uranium. We're quite pleased with the royalty portfolio that as a fairly young company, we've only been publicly listed less than 2 years. But to have 2 of the world's largest, richest mines in Saskatchewan at McArthur River and Cigar Lake in our portfolio is huge. But we, very much are a growth platform. This is just the beginning. This is the base that we grow from. With the uranium price increasing, it's exciting.
So this is a good point from the CEO. So let me just go right now and go for the technical. For the technical here, the ticker symbol is UROY on the Nasdaq, and the price is right now around the $3.65. Right now we have kind of a massive jump from here, this area around the 14th of December, and we can see the price is still gravitating up. The big picture is uptrending. From the 2 years ago, we were around the $1. Then we exploded from the $1 until almost the $6. You see, every time we test our exponential average, we see a big buying pressure for investor. Here, around the 24th of August, and again, of course, 21 of January when we bounce from it. And again, right now, this year, around March, we have a bounce as well. And the next time we overcome this triangle from above, let's say around the $4 this time, when we close a 4-hour candle here, we're gonna see the price to go all-time high and see the $7 this time, because last time we saw the $5.80. This time, if we overcome this triangle, we're gonna see a breakout until the $7 for this year, or even the $10 if we continue in the big picture. This massive channel of uptrending bull market for uranium. So here's my take, which is the first mover pure play uranium royalty exposure. Second, the challenging market condition create mutually beneficial royalty opportunity. And the third thing, nuclear energy gaining broad acceptance in carbon constrained world. The fourth thing is the robust uranium demand, rebalancing the market fundamental. And again, we have 1.5 billion for strategic uranium reserve over 10 years domestic uranium, and conversion expected around the 75 million expected for physical 2022. The market fundamental continue to improve with a growing deficit between the primary production and reactor requirement. So this is my take for Uranium Royalty Corporation, and this is what we should hedge our portfolio right now in this current market condition, which is undecisive. We have a massive demand for the energy, and there is a big shift for a lot of countries for the green energy. One of them is US, turning to 100% green in the year 2035. So that's why the good way to invest in the future is invest in uranium, which is diversifying not just one stock but Uranium Royalty Corporation, and will be a nice investment in the future. Let me know what you price prediction for uranium for the future. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your due diligence. I will put everything in comment section below to check everything for yourself. And if you have any question, let me know in comment section below, and see you in the next update.